Welcome back to the podcast. We are in an unlikely place. We are
Where are we?
in an unlikely place.
In an unlikely place.
We're
Yeah.
in a car in leafy green suburbs of North London.
It's gorgeous today, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
so
cold
nice.
outside and warm in here. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
You know what? It's always warm when I'm in your presence, though.
Oh,
But I feel like it might get a bit. I feel like this podcast is very time limited because it's a bit like a greenhouse in here right now.
yeah, we may have to crack a window.
Yeah.
Because slowly, we should get a temperature gauge just to show us what it is. We'll slowly go redder and redder from sunburn and
Yeah.
from temperature.
Episode 3, right? Will be sunburn. I'll be like, oh, do I have to come back to the podcast? But you know, there's always one thing that's dragged me back, and that's you, Alex. You know, what a great co-host.
We love doing a podcast. And to be fair, if we did this in a really warm location, it would be unbearable.
Podcast in unbearable locations. But
That's the way.
I feel like I'm the bearable location right now. Right,
Yeah.
we could sit and waffle for hours and hours, and we'd never get any redder, except if we're in the Sahara.
Yeah, true.
There you go.
Did you know there's like 14 different types of sand in the Sahara?
No, there's not.
Yeah, there's loads. It covers the whole colour spectrum of like red to.
What do you mean
Darker
types
red.
of sand? I thought like sand is just like one bog standard unit.
Well, I think sand like starts off as like silica, so that's white.
Where's glass?
That's sand.
Okay, glass is sand, or
Yeah.
sand is glass.
That's the question. That's
Welcome
the
back.
No, but like it starts off as like silica, then they add extra like impurities. So if
Yeah.
it's got more yellow in it, I don't know what makes it yellow.
They.
They?
Oh, as in you take sand, you add silica, you make glass.
So the clearest sand, the whitest sand, is just like pure silica.
Okay, all right.
But if you like the darker the sand, the more impurities it has mixed in. So it's just like crushed up shells and stuff. But
Yeah, that's
it's
what I was thinking.
mostly made out of
Cells is just rocks. No, sand is just rocks over millions of years, right?
Yeah, but it's just silica rocks.
What is silica?
It's an element. It's like
Okay.
silicon, but
Okay.
silica.
So like these, like concrete. If you break it, mash it up, break it down, would that be silica?
No, that's concrete.
Well, concrete's not an element, right?
Concrete's not a rock either.
Well, is concrete not a rock?
There's a man-made one, but it's made up of limestone and water and rocks and sand.
Silica. I don't know.
There's an element of it.
There you go. It's an element of it.
Yeah.
We're so back.
This is why we're in like a really hot car, just to slowly increase the insanity.
Oh my god! So what have you been up to since? Because we recorded last Saturday, right?
Yeah, we
What's-
recorded last Saturday.
What's anything interesting happened to you over the course?
I've been hitting the books, looking at new places to do podcasts.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Any
Is it-
ideas?
I've got loads of
You
ideas.
got a bucket list of like unlikely locations you want to go to?
I think maybe a lot of them like surround nature.
Okay.
I think nature's a good place to have an unlikely location for a podcast.
Mm.
Although, up a mountain, that's an unlikely place.
We did say we would go up Ben Nevis this year,
Yes, we did.
so we're doing that. What, maybe like July, August, summer, when it's like nice and sunny to walk up. We'll
I did find out though, Ben Nevis only ever has a clear skyline
Yeah.
52 days out of the year.
Well, is there a way to know if you get a good skyline before you climb it? Or do you have to, is it just pot luck?
You just look up.
Look. It's like, well, you could get up to the top and there could be
No,
clouds there, you know? It's
I-
like God's playing a trick on you, right?
You see the clouds and then it opens up in front of you.
Yeah. So you said if I go to the top of Ben Nevis and pray real good,
Well,
I
maybe,
might get clear skies.
maybe you would get granted that one, but it's quite variable. I think lots of clouds sort of like sit at the top of mountains because of the wind.
Isn't it low air density? That's where water
Yeah, so like it goes round and then creates like an eddy at the back,
a what?
an eddy current. Like it goes
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and around.
Because eddy's like a whirlpool, isn't it?
Yeah, like a whirlwind effect.
Did you ever do that when you were younger? Like first time you ever got given a dictionary, did you go look up your name? And I know eddy is, the definition is a whirlpool / spiral or something like that.
Yeah,
Eddy is
mine
like-
just said someone in the Bible.
I just had to remind myself what your name is. What Alex? Is there an Alex in the Bible?
No, there's Alexander the Great.
Okay, all right.
That's it.
Is that what
really.
you call yourself? Or...
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Right, so go on, tell me top 5 unlikely locations you want to go with the podcast at?
Ooh, canal boat.
Okay, yeah,
That's one of them.
we've got that.
We've got
Stay
canal
tuned.
boat.
Stay tuned. We actually got that in the works.
We've got just up a tree in the woods.
Okay.
I think that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've got. Ooh, I think we should do like a on the move podcast,
Like driving.
or cycling, or
Okay.
traveling of some kind on a train
On
maybe.
a train. Oh, it had to be a quiet train though.
Well, just get National Rail, a National Rail train all the way up to Ben Nevis to do the Ben Nevis
What's
cast.
to the top of Ben Nevis?
Well, yeah, we'll have an 8-hour podcast.
Oh, because to get to Ben Nevis, you have to go to. Is it Port Vale? What's the You have to get a sleeper train to.
Well, you can optionally get a sleeper train. I think it's near Port.
Is it not Port Vale?
Fort William.
I think that's it.
Fort
I think
Andrew.
that's it, yeah. So you get it's like an 8-hour overnight sleeper train, and instead of sleeping, we'll do an extended podcast in unlikely locations, 8 hours, and at the end of it, one of us will be alive.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so you're saying your overnight sleeper train to Ben Nevis would be one of your top 5.
Yeah. And then one of my top 5 would be a camping cast.
Okay.
Or by the fire cast.
Yeah.
The crackling
You wanna get
fire
that
with
crackle?
us talking about random stuff.
Like unlikely ASMR cast, right?
Yeah, we'll just turn the mics up to max and just get crackling fire all the time.
I'll tell you what, I would very much enjoy. When was your last camping trip then?
I haven't camped in years actually. I've done walking trips and all the other ones. I haven't camped since I was like 14, 15, 16 maybe.
Let's do it. I know a good place. You go down to Torquay, and it's in an old quarry. Down by the sea. So you have to like climb down this mountain. I say mountain, like very steep hill, but there's this real massive open quarry, and you can catch fresh fish there. Like last time I was there, we caught like 5 haddock and a lobster as well.
Yeah, I think Robbie was telling me about this as well.
It's crazy. Yeah, who's Robbie?
Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie the man.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, and the legend.
But do you know who Robbie is?
That's the mystery.
Let us know in the comments below. You can't just say something on the podcast that no one knows the answer to, right? Because you don't know who's going to end up watching it. So.
Oh, true.
Who is Robbie to you?
To me, Robbie is my friend. Our friend.
Our friend, yeah.
And he's done previous projects with us. He's been in a band with me.
Yeah.
And he's an excellent talker.
He was on Would I Lie to You?
Yeah, not the real one.
No.
Our one.
Our one. Yeah. If you wanna
the Talksit production of Would I Lie to You?
Yeah. If you want to watch that, we'll link that in the comments below as well. So it'll be the first line of the description. Just under our socials as well. Right. We'll put Talks. No, we're not Talksit. Podcast in unlikely locations Instagram, and then Talksit does Would I Lie to You?
Yeah. It's a good show actually.
Good
I
episode.
recommend listening through. There are some fantastic jokes and some, funny comments about Sean Locke.
It was actually okay, they're not that funny, but it was hosted by me. I did a great job. It was one of my favourite jokes I've actually ever told about you, was that you got so many gaps in your teeth, it looks like your tongue's in jail. And it's just he doesn't have a teeth gap at all.
Oh yeah, my teeth are perfectly put together.
Well, you got those like classic British teeth. Like, you all right? You all right?
All right,
governor.
I'm just wearing a Fred Perry t-shirt.
Yeah,
got a crop back haircut.
Well, because we could do for the next, if we ever decided to go and do another Would I Lie to You, we could do a video format now.
We can.
We could do multicam.
We would need to get more cameras.
Yeah.
Lots
and
more
that
cameras.
would be a lot of editing that I would not be doing. Alex would be doing that.
All right, it's going to be an audio format. There's another thing I want to do with the camping cast is we plan to do the West Highland Way, which is the 100-mile walk from Glasgow to Fort William, which is the bottom of Ben Nevis. Mm-hmm. And I think we should do one on our travels.
What, on the whole 100-mile walk?
Yeah, one every day, checking in, talking about stuff. Because by the time we've done 4, 5 or 6 days of hiking, maybe 20 miles a day maximum, we're going to be absolutely knackered.
How long does it take to hike 20 miles?
8 hours? 9 hours?
Oh, I'm going to be so tired. I'm going to be so tired after day 1. I get tired walking downstairs in the morning. I'm out of breath. I'm heaving.
Well, do you not get tired walking back up the stairs in the morning?
No, I do it on all 4s. So I like distribute the weight load.
That's the one. No, that's the way.
Do you know, like when I walk upstairs, it's muscle memory for me on which stairs I hit, which part I touch on the banister. I don't even think about it now. And it's like there's a bit, it curves around to the left, right? Like a lot of things in my life, right?
I was say, do you find that like when you're going up the stairs, going up one step at a time, tiring as fuck?
Yeah.
So you're slow, you're tired, you use more energy. Hopping up the stairs 2 at a time, just running up at full speed.
Hopping? So you're doing the whole stairs on one leg?
No. As in like you jump from step to step to step.
Is that hopping? That's skipping, isn't it?
It's jumping.
Hopping is on one leg.
Yeah, but I'm hopping off one leg to go to the other leg, to go to the other leg, to go to the other leg.
That's just long distance walking.
What is leaping, maybe?
It just sounds like walking with extra steps.
I'm just doing like the triple long jump up the stairs.
Okay, fine.
A hop, skip, and a jump.
Fine, but you're definitely not. There's no such thing as like hopping on 2 legs. That's just walking.
No, okay. Wait. I'm not hopping on 2 legs.
You said you're hopping up the stairs.
I go up the stairs, land 1 foot on, then hop to the next one, go the next foot off.
Hopping is singular. It is 1 leg.
Okay. Do you step up the stairs, put your other leg on, step up the stairs, put your other leg on?
No.
Next step, other leg on.
No.
So then I'm going from 1 step, hopping off 1 foot.
Right. This is
the next one.
This is ridiculous.
And then hopping off to the next one.
So when you walk on pavement, do you walk left foot forward and match with your right foot, or do you walk 1 leg forward, left foot forward, and then you go further with your right foot? Would you say that's hopping without leaving the ground?
That's a stride.
Okay, it's the same thing. I'm doing a stride vertical.
Yeah, but you're jumping off 1 foot.
I'm not jumping. I'm walking. I'm not. I don't. Oh, you're saying you're more actively leaping from 1 stair to the next. I'm saying I just walk.
Yeah, no, I just run up the stairs.
You leap. How much air time do you get between each step?
What, less than a second? I'm not that quick.
Come on. That's the next Olympic sport, though, right?
I think we should do a staircast where we just sit on this. Oh, actually, there's another one we could do.
Staircast?
On the swings.
Yeah.
I think I really want to do like a building site cast, just in a really stupid location underneath like a digger or something.
A what?
A digger.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and then another one we could do, it's in a bathroom.
Like, it's just like us sitting opposite each other in a bath.
Yeah.
Like knee to knee.
Knee to knee. No water inside the bath, obviously.
Or we could do back to back.
Hmm.
And it could be water. There could be bubbles as well, if you want.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice. And a Robbie Ducky.
Yeah, a Robbie Ducky.
It'd be 6 foot tall.
Yeah. I just feel like Robbie, for context, is like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's a tall man.
I was when he came like he was born, and he must have come out of the womb like 5'8".
You ever seen giraffes? Baby giraffe is like 6'1".
Yeah. How is it like not? I don't want to get too much into the biology of it, but like someone's getting hurt.
Have you ever seen the film like This Is Sparta, but the parody version?
No. What's that about?
It's about the 300.
I've not seen it.
It's about the Persians who fought off. The Spartans who fought off like 3,000 Persians, but they only had 300 men, and they won.
There's one that's like, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, basically, yeah. But in the Meet the Spartans one, there was like a Spartan baby that came out full beard with a 6-pack and just totally ready to fight.
Oh, it's like, have you seen Dictator?
I have, yeah.
So when he was born, allegedly, he comes out with a full beard as well, right?
Yeah.
Like someone's getting carpet burn. Right?
No, oh my god.
Wait, so just to recap, so your top 5 bucket list locations for Unlikely Podcast. I said that so wrong. Hang on. Top 5 bucket list locations for podcast and unlikely locations.
Unlikely places.
Yeah, we could shorten that slightly.
Yeah, I think you should work on the title team for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Dotapala.
There's too many words in that thing.
Yeah.
So Planet of the Apes is good. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
They're just adding sentences now.
Oh, it's like Fast 2, Fast and Furious, or Fast 5. Like Fast and Furious 5 is just called Fast 5.
Okay, when Fast and Furious 10 came out, I was really upset that they didn't do Fast 10 your seatbelts.
Yeah, we should have told that to Paul Walker, right?
Oh man,
Cut that out. Cut that out.
There's no editing in this one.
Snip that. Snip that. What do you mean there's no editing?
We're running through.
Well, all right, fine. Talking about running through. I'm gonna start running.
Well, let's go back to the 5 places that I want to do a podcast in. It's a camping cast. Could be on the Highland Way.
Yeah.
The West Highland Way, or by a fire. We could do a mountain cast.
Fireplace cast, right?
Yeah.
Mountain, Ben Nevis cast.
I think I want to throw a curveball in there.
Okay.
Sauna cast.
I just worry about how the equipment would hold up in the sauna.
The mics are cheap, so we just run the mics in.
Fine, fair enough. Are you going to fit the bill for that?
They're 20 quid.
You're going to fit the bill for that? You get paid more than me, so... Mountain cast. Wait, no, what did we say? Crackle cast by the fire.
Crackle cast, that's nice.
Mountain cast.
Yeah. Climber cast.
No, hang on.
Oh, we do want...
Sauna cast. Narrowboat cast.
Narrowboat cast, yeah.
Staircase cast.
Swing cast.
Swing cast. Tree cast.
Tree cast, yeah.
Yeah. We're set. Like, it's going to be a multi-part series where you see, at the end of episode 10...
Yeah, we're actually going to find Sauron and throw the ring into the volcano.
Oh my god, I've actually never seen Lord of the Rings.
Have you not?
I've not. I've never read the books.
I think the books are quite wordy. You have to kind of get into them to really enjoy them. But
yeah,
because Tolkien was not, wasn't a concise writer. He liked to endlessly write about everything.
Yeah, he likes to flesh out the stories.
Yeah.
Did he spend 3 films walking to the mountain? Right.
Yeah. No, he did, because that's just like part 1, 2, and 3 of The Hobbit.
Okay. He spent 3 books walking to a mountain. I'm not reading it.
I found out recently that one of the main character was his name Frodo Baggins, and Sam.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of their hobbies was golf.
No.
And he made like a whole backstory. He said that the hobbits, they love to go around eating food, talking to their friends, playing golf, and there's just no mention of it in any of the films.
That feels like wasted screen time, honestly.
No, I think they should flesh out the character of what they were really like. If they really love golf, then put them on a golf course.
Yeah, 100%. They're battling Tiger Woods at the end of the film, right? In order to get past the layer, you must beat Tiger Woods in a par 3 round of golf.
The ring is actually the cup that you have to get the ball into.
I can't imagine the Hobbit playing golf. Must have like small size clubs.
Yeah, the par 3 must be 7 yards.
Yeah, he's got Frodo's got a junior set, right? But it was something that you did want to talk about. Do you want to flesh that one out then?
Yeah, so we mentioned last week on the podcast my disdain for the TfL. I hate the TfL. I think the TfL, they have a good transport system, but it's not run very well. It's always delayed. There's loads of trouble with it. It's expensive, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, and I figured we'd spend the next 25 minutes of our lives trying to come to some sort of reasonable conclusion about, is there common ground that we can agree on, and at some points that we'll just never see eye to eye on, and if we'll ever make a podcast again.
This is the sticking point. Yeah.
So I wanted to, because I made some notes. I made some notes last night.
Yeah.
I was up to, I texted Alex at midnight, and I said, I've made some notes, and I'm going to destroy you on the battlefield tomorrow.
We are. We're making. This is a title fight of the heavyweights of TfL facts.
I feel like we'll see eye to eye on a lot of things. I feel like maybe you've just got you're too emotional with your argument.
Let me start off with what I have to deal with every day.
Hang on, no, I want to step back, just a half step back, and because I wrote down some notes on what should a successful transport network achieve. So I feel like that's a good starting point just to set the...
Should we go into the history of it?
Do you have a history of the TfL?
Also, the first underground station opened in 1853, 1853, I think.
Yeah.
And then since then, it's been going ever since. There's been 5 or 6 different companies, and in I think it was the 1930s they got conglomerated into a Transport for London. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these were separated into different types of transport. So they had buses, trams, trains, and that was pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
But they got rid of the trams because like post-war there was too many obstacles and you can't like divert a tram because if you break the track then the tram is stuck.
I mean, trams are kind of redundant in today's world.
Yeah, just not in Manchester. They seem to love those trams.
Oh, they have it in Nottingham as well. They have a tram network.
Really?
Well. I think it's Nottingham or Leeds.
I think trams are terrifying. They're not my favourite form of transport.
No, it's so cool to play chicken with a tram because like you can see them coming across. And it's like just walk in front of the tram.
I've seen because they're like a massive. Say they're like 60 tons of metal compared to your 2-ton vehicle.
Yeah.
They're going to eviscerate it. I've seen so many videos of like people trying to cut in front of trams and just getting like sideswiped. They're never that like serious most of the time because they're going quite slow. But
it's the physics though, isn't it? It's momentum is speed times by weight. That's how you generate momentum. So it's something like travelling at 10 miles an hour that weighs 2 tons would hurt more than, I don't know, a bee travelling at 30 miles an hour that hit you.
Yeah.
Make podcast equipment more expensive.
But
go on, get any more. In the
1930s, the Northern Line used to be made up of 3 different lines.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember their exact names.
Yeah.
But then after the 1930s, they got brought in to make the Northern Line, which started from High Barnet and went to where did it go to?
King's Cross.
No, it went to like Morden.
Via Bank.
No, yeah. And then they extended it to include London Bridge, and then they kept going out all the way up to, just Morden, yeah.
Because the original plan was that Mill Hill Broadway was going to be an extension of the Northern Line. Can you imagine how much easier my life would be if Mill Hill Broadway was on the Northern Line and not on the Thameslink?
It was actually supposed to go even further than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was supposed to go to Bushy Heath, Elstree.
Bournemouth, Radler? Maybe?
No, not as far as Radler, but I think it went all the way up to
St
Elstree.
St Albans, maybe?
I don't think it was going to go that far, but that got cancelled in the 1950s. Not sure why, probably because of cost of building. But yeah, they cancelled that, and then they've just like connected more networks up to the Northern Line to make it the really long Northern Line we see today.
Yes, how do we end up with like that joint off bit at Mill Hill East then?
Because they started it. They started the work for Mill Hill East to go to Mill Hill.
Was it Mill Hill East to Mill Hill, then to Bournemouth?
No, I can't remember the exact route, but it's going to like Elstree.
Yeah, Elstree and Bournemouth is the
same place then. Yeah. Well, yeah. So it would go to Bournemouth, Elstree.
Okay. And then anything after that?
Bushy Heath, so all the way up to like Watford.
Up to what? Oh, can you imagine? Because if we want to go to Watford, it's such a pain.
Yeah, we have to drive there, or we have to go all the way into the centre of London to come all the way out again. Traversing London or trying to get out into the suburbs is impossible by train in any sort of like economical way.
Unless you live near, like next to a bus route. That, to be fair, if I want to go to Hatfield, I can't get there via train, but there's a very good bus network in Mill Hill that goes all the way out to Hatfield, which you have to pay for. As in, like, you have to, it's not run by TfL, it's one of those, is it Uno? The purple buses?
Oh yeah, I do know those ones.
Is it Uno?
I don't know, I'm not familiar.
Yeah. Any more history?
Yeah, so the Northern Line trains started getting replaced for the new stock of like newer trains in 1995. So the current ones are 30 years old.
Okay.
And then the train system became entirely automated. So it was driverless. The trains are driverless now, but they have drivers in them.
I didn't know that.
In 2014. And this was a conscious choice opted by the TfL to have drivers in trains.
But what?
And I think it was a union vote as well.
Well, I'm assuming that because of safety and security, you need to have a driver on the train to keep people aware. Like, say, like, oh, if someone's obstructing the doors, please stop obstructing the doors, because maybe like an automation wouldn't be able to recognise that sort of thing.
So when I was on the train, like this was maybe almost a year ago now, there was an announcement of I was on a really busy train coming from Bank going to Mile End, and one of the driver, like, he kept on mentioning on the tannoy systems, like, guys, stop leaning on the doors. Because every time you lean on a door, it will jolt the train, it will stop the train from moving, because it's a safety feature.
Okay.
So that it's an emergency stop is what it does.
Oh, so it doesn't want people like falling out the doors, right?
Yeah, if it like fails and opens, they don't want people like hurting themselves.
Okay.
But over the tannoy, he goes, guys, I've had to manually override the auto departure on the train just to get us out. So you guys better be thanking me because I'm keeping this train on time, even though you guys keep leaning on the doors.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It was like the train was heaving.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking there.
Well, what time of day was this? Was this like rush hour?
This was like, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm thinking there going, so he doesn't actually drive the train in any way. He's just there to supervise it.
Yeah.
And then he decides to drive it when people are breaking the rules to get him off. Like the rest of the time, what are they doing?
Well, otherwise it's going to delay the whole network, right?
It is, yeah. There's actually a lot of stats about delays, but we'll get onto that later on.
I don't know. So I think that just comes back to what I was saying. It's like you need to have someone physically there. Because if you say you had a team of like 10 people monitoring the whole network and beep, 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 someone's leaning on the doors on this 1504 train from Euston, you've got to patch into that train and be like making an announcement on the tannoy. That would be long. I think that if you didn't have people physically on the trains, there would more likely be even more delays over smaller things, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if the AI system automation detects someone's leaning on the doors, you stop the train in the middle of a tunnel, but then there's 20, 30 trains that are actually queuing up behind it. So if you've got someone physically there, I think you need someone there. They might get paid too much, but you do need someone physically on those trains.
Well, there is a good point of having a human element.
Yeah.
But that being said, they should have more other roles. They should be able to like walk within the passenger carriage or, make different things happen.
Carry a taser as well.
I don't think they should carry a taser. They're behind a very armor-plated door.
Well, what happens if there's a fight on the train and like the train driver can see it? Like, do they stop the train at the next stop and like call the police?
Yeah, exactly that.
They should be able to like carry like a baton or something.
Well, no, because they've got to drive the train.
They should be like, don't make me tap the sign.
Fight.
Settle down back there. Any more history? Otherwise, I'm going to give you my little...
I don't have any more history now.
I'm going to give you some stats. So, I was writing down some notes about what should a transport network achieve and how does the TfL compare to that. So, some notes I made. So, a transport network should be efficient, accessible, sustainable, and affordable. So efficiency should mean that services should be quick and reliable. Accessibility ensures ease of how the fuck do you say that word? Ease of use for everyone. Sustainability focuses on reducing emissions and congestion, and affordability means fair pricing for all users. TfL handles a massive volume of passengers with 3.6 billion journeys recorded in 23-24, which was a 9% increase from the previous year. Its financial model is currently heavily reliant on fare revenue, with over 70% of its income coming from passengers, making it vulnerable to economic downturns or like pandemics or social issues. In terms of public transport usage, 44% of Londoners commute using TfL services, significantly higher than the 16% national average. Additionally, 42% of all trips taken in London are made using active transport modes such as walking and cycling, whereas 25% are on public transport, which is the highest proportion in the UK. Efficiency does remain a challenge, with the average bus speeds in London falling to just 6.6% due to congestion, significantly slowing journey times in busier periods. And then what I've done is I've written down some major positives of the TfL and some major criticisms, and also like how it compares to other systems, but I'm not sure how much you want to get into that immediately. We'll just bring it in later on, but... Right, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the fares.
Hang on, well, should we do this in order, right? Efficient, accessible, sustainable, affordable.
Okay, so efficiency, in terms of reliability...
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, the trains on the Northern Line, because that's the train I most likely have to get, are close to 30 years old.
Can I add a context question? We're thinking purely TfL, so this doesn't include Thameslink, so I shouldn't.
No Thameslink. Just
because that's my personal experience is Thameslink trains.
Really?
But that's private, isn't it?
That's a private company entirely. Yeah. They don't run with the TfL.
Yeah, we can have a whole other podcast on the Thameslink because it's
National Rail.
Bloody
should it be privatised?
Yes. Next question. Right, efficient.
Well, so in terms of the stats, the services on the Northern Line run at around 94% efficient.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's disproportionate when like multiple things happen over the course of a couple months.
Okay.
So in November of 2024, they had many trains having trouble with their traction drive system, which is the bit that like drives the train wheels.
Yeah.
And loads of their trains has had many motor failures. So it meant if a train broke down, they would have to delay everyone else, get it off the tracks, put it into a lay-by where they can repair it. And that happened for weeks.
Oh, really?
The trains kept on going down. So I had to get to work, and I would frequently be late, even though I was leaving 45 minutes early, just because of these train delays. That happened maybe average like once or twice a week.
Is it fixed now?
For the most part, as far as I'm aware.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it works 98% of the time, it's whatever 94% of the time it works properly.
Yeah,
it does its job.
Having a transport system that's reliable 94% of the time is good.
Right.
However,
hang on. So when you're taking your trains in the morning, how regularly do trains come through your stop that you need to get on?
So I get the train at 6:30 in the morning, and a train comes every 6 minutes.
Right. Compare that to the rest of the country. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? It's so good.
I don't think it's comparable, to be honest, because no other city has a train system akin to the London transport system. Manchester may have a good bus network. Leeds, I think Leeds has an underground system, don't they?
Might have a tram system. I don't think
they have a form of transport system which is quite,
I don't
uniform.
think any other city in the UK has an underground network of trains. Feel free to correct me on that.
I think there is one other city in the UK that has one.
Okay.
And I think it is Leeds, but I'm not sure.
Of all the cities.
Well, yeah, who knows?
Shout out to my brothers in Leeds, though. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know. I just think if you can get a train every 6 minutes from a platform, I think sometimes because we live in London and it's a very illustrious and elegant and extravagant city, you take the transport network for granted. I think to be able to get on a train every 6 minutes is unbelievable. I mean, and like you go in, you sit down, it might be a bit noisy, or we'll get onto like the noise pollution and everything, and like if it's clean or dirty or whatever, but the fact that it runs that frequently, nearly all hours a day, is quite remarkable.
Yeah, but you said you wanted reliability as your efficiency point.
Yeah.
For this, I didn't finish the rest of it, but in October they had a system failure.
Okay.
That meant for 2 or 3 weeks, no trains were running correctly. There was a complex issue with it. This is from a system that is likely, 20, 30 years old.
How often do you get these sorts of reliability issues?
Well, in the end of 2024, it was reasonably frequently.
Yeah. Okay. And we're now 4 weeks into 2025. Have you had anything major, or you?
I've had a few delays, but nothing as severe as it was.
When you say delays, like how? Say it's a train every 6 minutes. What does a delay look like then?
So the way the TfL measures delays is anything over 2 minutes is considered a delay. However, anything over an hour for signal failures is then recorded.
Okay.
So that's the cutoff point. So any data you receive, because I've been looking at the TfL website, they give you the data for customer hours wasted from signal failures, and it's in the thousands, like hundreds of thousands.
Okay. Okay, because if it's over an hour, you can report a complaint and you're entitled to compensation, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever done that before?
No, I've never had to do that.
I can't say I've ever sat on a TfL platform for over an hour, really.
I think there was more likely the people sit on the trains for over an hour.
What, have you ever been stuck on a train?
Yeah, a few times.
Like a TfL train?
A TfL train, yeah.
As in roughly how long would you have been sat on that train for?
15, 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad, to be fair.
But I think that they tend to stop at the platforms if they're stuck for more than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I had to get one where I got stuck at Angel. I needed to get to Bank, and I had to get off. Basically, I was able to get off the train, wait for 20 minutes upstairs to check out what I can get in terms of signal, to get a different route. Come back down again, only for the delay to be finally sorted out, and then get to work late.
Same train.
Same train, yeah.
Are you is your work very forgiving of that sort of thing though?
They are now, yeah. If you're 5-10 minutes late, it's not really a big issue.
Okay, because the thing with me with the Thameslink is like I need to be in work from 9 o'clock, and I aim to get in like 8:30. So when delays inevitably do happen on the Thameslink, like when it's 98% of the 95% of the time, the Thameslink works perfectly, but when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. Then you have cancelled trains, you have 15-minute delays, and then because Thameslink trains don't come as regularly as other networks, when there are delays or cancellations, I have to get on this train.
Yeah.
But it's sardines. It's horrible. So like, I've been late to work once. I got in at 9:15. But like all the other times I'm in at like 20, 8:30. So they were like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. I know you're not taking the Michael. All right. I think the network is efficient. Yeah, it works well. As you say, it works well 94% of the time.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't work, things really go tits up.
Yeah, and I didn't mention before, but I pretty much get every single form of transport to and from my workplace. I get overground, bus, underground. Those are the three that they have.
You do. You know what you're doing? Overground, underground, wobbling free.
Overground, underground, wobbling free.
Wombles, if you want to sponsor us, the
real Wombles, the TV show, we mean.
Yeah. Wait.
Not the Wombats.
I'm seeing the Wombats in a couple of weeks. I'll talk about it on the next week's podcast, though.
Yeah. At the Wombats concert.
I met someone that makes me feel seasick. Oh, you don't know?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Wombats.
Yeah, he's very pedestrian in the music that he listens to. It's very weird.
Yeah.
So music's subjective.
But let's go back to the topic at hand. I've been last year pretty much from the whole of 2024. The overground frequently has delays and cancellations, which mean that I have to get a different route home because the train is just broken.
Just get a motorbike, right?
Yeah, but that's I have to pay for that.
That's the thing. It's like you shouldn't be like, the network is so unreliable. I have to find alternative means of getting home consistently, right?
Yeah, and like when you're in like busy periods and like a train's down, but then all the buses are absolutely packed.
Yeah.
Like I've been on one where you have no space whatsoever for 45 minutes because everyone's going to the same place.
On a bus?
Yeah, on a bus. And because there's so many people trying to get the bus, it slows it down, more people get on, more people get off.
Yeah. And
you're there for like twice the length of your usual journey on a sweaty bus.
Yeah.
That is very uncomfortable and disgusting.
Is it rail replacement bus or is it just a standard service you get on?
Just standard service.
So basically people who normally take that route, they're being basically double fucked.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Sorry.
But like I've been to the overground station and I've got on trains which were for an hour and a half prior, which said delayed until 4:30, which was supposed to be at 3.
Bloody hell.
And you're just like, oh, that's a serious delay. And these happens basically once a week.
You say overground, you mean that's the orange one, isn't it?
Well, they've got colours now. Can you name all 5 overground lines?
We've done this before, haven't we? It's just the Windrush.
Windrush is one of them.
Lioness.
Lionesses, yeah.
And then there's like Marie Curie.
No, there's the Weaver line. There's
Jackie Weaver.
No, it's based on just weavers.
Okay, you get on the line. It's like, you have no authority here. It's like, I wish my train runs on time. TFL, you have no authority here.
What else is there? The Mildmay line.
Yes,
I think there's one more which I can't remember. It's the Liberty line.
Is Mildmay another one of those slave ships?
I don't know. I haven't looked into the history of it.
That was quite an ignorant thing to say. So we'll come back to it. But what overground stations are you going between then?
So I go onto the Liberty line, and that frequently has delays. I also go onto the Mildmay line, the purple one.
I've actually never been on any of them. I know
and that also frequently has delays.
The only one I've done is the overground from West Hampstead. Not Thameslink. The actual yellow one in West Hampstead.
No, I've no idea.
Orangey yellow. I don't know. It's just called the overground. He's like the TFL has brought out these like new flavours of overground trains.
To be fair, I think it's good because if you look at an overground map, it's just all orange. And I was genuinely confused. I was like, where am I? why do I have to look at 5 different lines that all have the same colour?
Yeah.
Why is it not clearer than that?
I don't understand. What? Oh, it's a dog. Ruff. Anyway.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
No, we're getting sidetracked. We're talking about the TFL. In terms of like pricing, do you think TFL is fairly priced? And also, I want to throw another thing in the mix, even purely speculatively. Let's say 10% of people push through the barriers. They don't pay for the TFL. Is that the primary factor in why TFL travel costs have gone up?
I don't think that's the primary factor. I think they've taken steps to stop people doing that. Hence the big old carbon fibre barriers that they have now.
Every time I go to West Hampstead, I see people push through the barriers.
Yeah, it's just something they can do, but it is a crime. Yeah. There's a specific crime about evading a fare on a TFL transport.
Yeah.
So you can get done for it. And if ticket inspectors do exist on the trains somehow, and they didn't realise this, but they do, and they can check your tickets.
What, on the Underground?
Yeah.
I've never in my life seen a ticket inspector on the Underground.
Do DLR have ticket inspectors?
Who is fare dodging on the DLR? Why don't you actually?
Oh, the DLR is the easiest one to get caught out by because there's no barriers. There's just open staircases and then a machine on the side.
I love the DLR actually. It sounds so nice.
It is nice, and they clean it quite a lot. So it's heavily invested by the banking industries.
By the Saudi royal family. Shout out to the Saudi Investment Fund. We'd love to work with you.
Yeah, we want to do a luxury cast in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I'll tell you, let's do it the gold cast where we just use gold mics or something.
Yeah, we're just head to toe in gold.
Someone set it up, honestly. Yo, MBS. Give me a call.
That's the way.
Give me a call. But no, in terms of, right, so the first part of the question was, do you think TFL travel is too expensive?
I do think it is too expensive.
Okay, well, you know the TFL operates at a loss every year.
I do know that also.
So, of course, it's propped up by the government.
Yeah, and lots of other business funds which government supply.
Do you think the TFL should be a company run for profit or a company run? I assume it's because it's a private company, isn't it?
Yeah.
But should it be run for profit or because it's a public service, where we should be okay with it operating at a loss?
I think it's a public service. It should be operating at a loss.
Okay.
I don't think we should pay more for the transport we get, because if you think about it, an average person might pay £50 a week on travel. So close to two grand a year on travel. Times that by the 45% of 3.5 billion. But you're looking at 400, 200 billion.
What are you talking about?
Wait, I'm taught. 3.5 billion people use it. That's how many journeys used per year.
Yes. No, on average, that's unique journeys, yeah.
On average, 45% of those are commuting, so they're frequently taking journeys.
Yeah.
Times that by the £2,000 an average person spends, and you'll get an average thing. It's like 3.5 billion or 3 billion.
Let me just bring this up.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
They operate on a massive amount of money. They've got huge cash flows.
Yeah. So, but of course, in recent years, TFL fares have gone up and up and up.
I think a political factor is the COVID-19 pandemic, because they ran during the COVID-19 and used up all of their cash reserves. Oh,
of course, because they still. Well, do you think they ran a reduced service though?
Yeah, almost certainly. But the cost of the running of trains is extortionate.
Yeah. So we just bring up some stats about TFL revenues.
So the TFL revenue from 2019 to 2020 was 9.08 billion.
Okay.
And then from 2023 to 2024 was 9.1 billion. Obviously there was a dip in between because of the lack of use from COVID-19, but £9 billion, that's a significant income.
But it's £9 billion and they're still operating at a loss. So I know, of course, it's going to get worse as well, purely because I think, was it the Victoria or Piccadilly? They've just redone. We've replaced all the trains on the network.
End of the 2025, Piccadilly line's going to have all new trains.
Yeah.
Which are currently getting developed in Germany.
Yeah.
So they're going to have transported over here. It's going to cost them an arm and a leg.
Transport for Deutschland, right?
Yeah. What's funny is there's a testing station over in Germany where you can go and ride the new trains, and it's just a big old loop.
That's pretty cool.
So you can hop on into a London train in Germany and carry on going and arrive back in Germany again. Yeah.
That sounds like a trip from hell, honestly. Like, I'm an Englishman, get me out of here. What? Okay.
Can you imagine if there was like an underground train that went all the way to Germany?
No.
that would be insane.
Well, we've got the Euros. We're getting slightly sidetracked. I wanted to like dig deeper into this whole like pricing thing. So there's two things. It's like, what can we do to increase TfL revenue to make it more profitable, or if that should be a priority? And also, it's sort of along the same lines as who should have access to discounted travel. Because the sort of current people that get discounted travel is like frontline emergency services, right? Is that everyone in emergency services, NHS, and OAPs, right? I think that's it.
OAPs.
Well, pensioners.
Yeah, and kids.
And kids.
Kids and students also get discounted travel.
I think, right, for something like kids, it should be like 50p every time you tap your Oyster card, and that's it. That's not extortionate for any one person, but imagine like if you had a 50p charge every time a kid tapped an Oyster card, and then maybe what if it was charged to the school, or something like, or
I guess the schools would have to be nationalised at that point.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I don't know, it could be like government scheme or something. Do you think someone's either got to lose out, or it's just always going to be like a fiscal black hole at TfL? It's always going to be bad. I
think it's always going to be a fiscal black hole. It's a public service that everyone relies on, and no one wants to spend more money on.
Okay.
Because they get cuts of the surcharges you get from with congestion. The super low emission zone fines.
ULEZ.
Yeah, they get cuts from that.
That goes to TfL. I thought it goes to London City Cons.
Yeah, which goes to TfL. So not all of it, but some of it.
Why?
Because it's like part of the cleaner roads program, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because you get different types of pollution down there.
Yeah. No.
Which gets less pollution off the roads.
I think that's ridiculous. Why is that money going to the TfL?
Well, no, it should go to the TfL. I think more money should go into the TfL to improve the network.
Okay, right. You want to? Okay. Well, just before we move on to like actually improving the network, do you think we should keep it as it is, with those people having? Is it free or is it discounted for those 4 groups of people? So I know kids travel free.
Kids travel free, and then you get like the 18-year-olds. I think get buses free, and then they have to pay for some transport and trains.
Okay. Right.
And then students get off-peak travel 1/3 off.
Okay, and then
emergency workers, I think, namely the police, they get free travel, but that's on the proviso that they police the trains, and that means that if something happens, they're the first responders. That's like a fail-safe system for the TfL. Mm-hmm. And then you got the people that bump the trains, and that's illegal. So don't do that.
But like as in like NHS staff, like
I don't know if they get free discounted travel. But I don't think they should.
This country's crazy.
I don't think they should get discounted travel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different. They get a lot of other discounts. I think the TfL needs to retain a lot more money than it has.
Mm. You know what? We should do like a tourist tax.
I agree, but I think it should be used for other things like tourism.
What? As in boosting tourism?
Yeah.
Well, like just a tourist. Maybe like if you have your British ID card. You scan that when you buy a ticket and it gives you like 10% off, and then tourists have to pay full price or something. I don't know.
Surely that's like driving away tourists.
No, because people always come to London. After 25 years living in London, I don't get it anymore.
I think they should have weekends which are on peak.
Yeah? Well, isn't that already a thing?
No, it's off peak.
Off peak
weekends off peak.
That's so stupid.
I think it's. You go to Camden Town on a weekend, and there's a queue going out the door and a queue going in the door. So much so that you have to go to Mornington Crescent or Chalk Farm just to get to Camden.
Yeah,
which is it's crazy. I think they should have on peak hours, and they would make more money that way.
Well, just stop going to Camden. Honestly, when's the last time you were in Camden?
That's how I get back from work.
Oh, okay. You know what? Fair enough. Did I ever tell you the story of, you know, if you go to Camden markets, right, they always give you like free samples of like chicken on a stick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So me and my friend Rui, we went around Camden Market and we went around and was like, oh yeah, we're not sure what we want to eat. We wanted to get as much free food as we could. And we're like taking all the free samples, like eating that, yummy. And I was like, Rui, I'm still hungry. Let's do another pass. We went back to the start, and instead of speaking in English, we put hats on and we started speaking in Portuguese. And I'm like, I don't speak Portuguese. And I was like, the chicken, por favor. And then we just took the samples and just walked off. And they were like, yeah, fair enough. You know what I don't like, but I understand how it works. It's like if you go and get like a Chinese food box, so it's like, you can have rice, noodles, and then like one sort of protein on top, right?
Yeah.
So when they make the box, they always pile you up high with noodles and rice, and then give you like 5 bits of chicken. It's because where's the margin items where they make the most money is the most expensive things to buy is
the meat,
yeah, the meat. Whereas like noodles is pennies, right? So if they can load you up with rice and noodles, it's like, oh yeah, I love chow mein.
Maybe they should bring this into the TFL. Bring back the shops.
Onto the TFL?
Yeah, they used to have like tuck shops at stations.
Where was I?
Baker Street has one, I think.
It's,
and Aldgate East has one as well.
I think Holborn might have one, or it's one. What's one stop after Monument?
Which line?
From Blackfriars on Circle. Come on, we can do this. Is it Strand? No,
I haven't got the Circle line in decades.
Anyway, go on. Let's talk about health. You had a lot of stuff you wanted to speak about in terms of like health and impacts of using the TFL network and how damaging it could be to individuals. So hit me.
So going on the train, as you know, going between say Euston and Camden Town, have you ever done it without headphones on?
Euston to Camden. Is this the one where it's like really screechy on the tracks?
Yeah, screechy is like super, super loud. And this causes a lot of trouble for us because like I don't particularly like the screeching noise. And I was looking up some stats to give some context. You can listen to your music 75 decibels for the whole day, have no trouble. You go up to like 80, 85 decibels, you can listen to it for a few hours and be okay.
Okay.
Every decibel you go up, the safe listening time goes down by 3 minutes.
Okay, all right.
And
so go on, tell me.
The Northern Line currently sits at between 80 and 100 decibels.
So if you take that to work every day, and you're not using, I'm assuming if you use noise cancelling headphones, I
think you mitigate it. So any sort of headphone that blocks your ears mitigates it to some extent.
Okay.
Unless you're like super, so like really audiophilic and don't like your hearing getting damaged, you can use like earmuffs.
Yeah, I guess you could use. Would it work if you use like earmuffs and then put on AirPods underneath that?
I did that on a plane once. Double noise cancelling.
Does it work?
It does. It works really well.
You fall asleep?
I don't really fall asleep on trains anyway, or planes.
Planes. Do you fall asleep on planes, trains, or automobiles?
Boats, definitely, but no, anything else I can't.
Boats? You slept on a boat?
Yeah, more so than I can sleep on a car. But let's go back to the noise pollution.
The noise at hand.
some of the older lines, say like the Metropolitan line or the Piccadilly line.
Circle line's really bad.
They can get up to, I think it was 103 decibels.
Right.
Bearing in mind, like do you know Lemmy from Motorhead?
No.
He's a famous rock guitarist or rock bassist for Motorhead who's toured all around the world. Yeah. Absolute millionaire, total rockhead. And he goes, if they want to come to my concert, we should play it loud.
Yeah.
And around like 100, he plays it at 100 decibels. Like almost up to like 110.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're starting to get physical pain in your ears because it's so loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the TFL have trains which can like boost to that much. Like 103, 108.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, how does one, if I say I'm CEO of the TFL, how does one go about reducing that noise to make it more safe for consumers?
I think there's one way of just reducing speed. Yeah, reducing speed in those sections which have really tight bends or are really screechy, just to mitigate the fact of like, energy going in, noise coming out.
Let's assume that's not an option because you don't want to slow down the network.
I have no idea.
You put like little
dampeners maybe.
Dampeners on, or you put like just cover them in a little coat.
Maybe start like a noise cancelling the cabs.
Oh, that's genius.
I think they need to put more care into that because.
Yeah, if you maybe made the windows like double glazing or something.
Or just have air conditioning, and don't have windows that can.
Yeah, or you could just have like the national anthem playing on a loop, right?
Yeah, I think we should do that every morning.
That's
just like the Americans do.
Do you just think of that off the cuff? Why has that not been considered before? Noise cancelling the cabs.
I don't think it was available in 1995 when they started replacing all those trains.
Oh, that's true. And of course, I mean, how much do you think? There's just no way of knowing. Like, as in
it would cost millions.
Yeah.
Like absolutely millions. And because it's a government contract, it will take twice as long and cost twice as much.
Yeah.
And the work done will be, good but not fantastic. It'll be good enough.
Yeah, because you're doing it on like I don't even know how many trains do you think there are on the network then?
I do know this.
Yeah, go on.
Peak times.
Yeah.
There's 543 trains running at any one time.
That's so impressive, honestly.
And to think if they want to do more, there's more wear and tear, more noise, more people.
Is the network at capacity, as in terms of trains running, or do you think we could run more trains?
I don't think we can run more trains. They run pretty frequently during peak times. I think on average a bank train comes every 100 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really good.
So if you'd made it any more than that, you'd be basically just like bumper to bumper trains.
Yeah, we should do just one long conveyor belt of like, you just like jump. Like what is it? Those Hungarian, was it Swiss?
I know
the Swiss lifts where they're always moving. Yeah.
I do know those ones.
We should do that.
Really dangerous, aren't they?
I've never taken one, but those lifts also where you need to like close the metal shutters and then push a button.
They scare me.
That is so. How is that still legal?
Well, they have them in train stations.
Really?
Yeah, some of the train stations.
Where it's just the metal sheet.
No, it's like doors and then a metal sheet can come across.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the ones where it's because I was on holiday a couple of years ago, and I was in this hotel, and you had to shut the metal gate and then push a button. I'm like, I could literally just like rip my finger off right now. I'm not going to, but I could. You wanted to. Wait, do you want to finish up what we're talking about the noise levels? Because I know you wanted to get back to talking about capacity, didn't you?
Yeah, so the noise levels are ridiculously high, and there's been news reports that say that they're considered a health risk.
Okay.
Which, it's ridiculous. How can a public transport system be a health risk if people rely on it every single day? So many people rely on it that the capacity of the Piccadilly line, they have queues outside and they run at 130% of the capacity of their trains at rush hour.
Okay, so you're saying we don't have the capacity to run more trains. So there is an issue with that. Just, I don't know, just build more train stations?
Yeah, or improve the bus networks, get rid of more cars, so the buses run faster.
Because I'm on a level with you. I think I've told you this before. It's like I would happily sit on a train for 15 minutes longer than taking a bus. So if the bus was 15 minutes quicker, but I could take a train instead.
Let me add a mitigating factor. What if the bus stop was next to your house and the train station was a 15-minute walk away from your house?
Well, the example for me is like, for me to get somewhere in town, I have to go and take the Thameslink into King's Cross and go back out. I like taking trains. The other option there is to take a bus to an underground station, and I more often than not, I would choose to take, because I know the walks to Thameslink, I know the train network, I know also if I come back, there's always toilets on Thameslink trains.
Oh.
So inevitably, if we're out and we're having a little couple bevies, I'll need to have a little whiz on the way back.
Well, yeah, should we?
Yeah, I'm conscious of the time. So, what you wanted to talk about? Capacity? No, what was it?
Oh, just pollution.
Pollution.
Do you know what they call the dust in the trains?
Is it the rats? The rat black poison? I don't know. Oh, go on.
No, it's called tube dust.
Tube dust.
You can guess what it's made out of.
It's skin, isn't it?
Yeah, metal particles, pollution.
Dirt on your shoes as well.
Yeah, people.
I don't.
Just people like.
Just piss. Just people.
Have you ever? Did you see that video of the influencer guy that took one of those hydro cleaning suction cleaners
No.
and put it on the seats in the TfL.
No, is it dirty?
Yeah, it comes out like a deep brown.
But I would have
and
thought
black.
like the government or the agency running the TfL would be knowledgeable of how dirty it is, and therefore like maybe like once every 6 weeks a train gets a deep clean.
I think they should, honestly. I think they should, but you can pretty bash a seat and more dust will come out than you really want it to.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm on the TfL or if I'm opening a grave, right?
Yeah. It's bad. Sometimes it smells awful as well.
Yeah, it's usually someone that's thrown up on it, and that person's usually not me.
Oh, I was going to work the other day actually.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of hearing this noise. I was like, what is that? So I pulled my headphone out.
Yeah.
And some guy down the other side of the carriage has just like chucked it up.
You ever thrown up on the tube?
No, I've never done that. But he chucked it up and just like next stop he just got off and I think he went back home after that.
Oh, that's nice sun. It's golden hour, isn't it?
I know, it's super bright.
All right, let me.
Hey, you want to state some facts about the TfL that you found?
Yeah, so compared internationally, London's transport network lags behind Europe. So only 40% of UK residents can reach their city centre. So this is more like UK based. So only 40% of UK residents can reach their city centre in 30 minutes by public transport, whereas in major European cities, the figure is 67%. Right, well, let's just skim by that. Right, safety is also a major concern on the TfL, which we didn't really touch on that too much. So passengers falling through gaps at tube stations was 247 incidents in 2023, which is underreported. So of course then they brought in, a particularly busy, what's the busy line where where they have the automatic doors on the platform.
Oh, this is the Elizabeth line.
Yeah. I think they have it on other networks now as well. I think it's unbelievable because also like the guesswork.
They've got one at Parliament now as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I think last year a politician fell through the gap and then made a big stink about it in the news.
Oh, classic. So it's not an issue until it affects me, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think they brought some changes in.
Well, so we got Crossrail 2, which I don't know what that is. I think is that coming soon?
I think that's HS2.
Is that? Okay. Anyway, so my final thoughts. The TfL is largely fit for purpose, but significant improvements are needed in terms of financial sustainability, affordability and reliability. While it remains one of the most extensive and widely used transport systems in the world, long-term planning and investment will be critical to maintaining its effectiveness in the future. And because every day the population of London grows, but it seems like the capacity of the network is limited, it's finite. So the issues what we've already had are just going to get worse and worse and exacerbated even further, like injuries or the number of people getting noise complaint injuries, or people just not being able to get onto trains in rush hour. That's my 2 cents. I don't know. Where do you lie down?
I have to agree.
I don't know why I said where do you lie down.
No, okay, so I somewhat agree. I think that the capacity of the TfL is quite limited, but it doesn't help that like building projects bringing more people in is going to to exacerbate the problem. It's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
So I think in North London there's a couple massive building projects to bring in like 5,000 family homes, which are all going to go into the Northern Line, which is already the busiest line on the Underground.
Oh, this is one next to Mill East, right?
Yeah, there's some in Finchley, there's some in Barnet.
No, it's crazy.
All of them are going to have to take the Northern Line, which is currently, as I said earlier, runs 100%, 130% capacity.
Yeah.
It's going to get extremely busy.
I think it just links into the wider issue more generally in London, is that they encourage a lot of home building and new builds without considering actually the infrastructure impact that has. Because if you there's so many new builds in northwest London where I live, but in terms of accessing dentistry, GP appointments, getting like police out to your home if you've got like a serious incident, the resources are so severely stretched, why I think there needs to be more consideration given to these like new build projects on the basically local infrastructure impact it could have, before these things are built. And they need to be like more appropriately signed off, because there's no point building 5,000 homes if we can't accommodate another 5,000 people on a transport network, or at the local schools, or at the GP surgery, because you've got people living
or vehicles on the road.
That's 100%. Like, there's no point in these people complaining, oh, I've moved into this area, I can't access anything, and, you know, the tube network's always overcrowded. I'm like, yeah, well, that's not your fault that those homes got signed off to be built there, because they shouldn't have been built in the first place. It's grossly unfair on the local population already, but...
Yeah, it should just go into improving public networks.
Yeah, or just,
and public spaces. And
you know what we should do? Instead of doing new builds, just, make existing houses into 4 flats.
Or just build in other cities. I think they should just take total blanket, no building in London.
No, let's not go that far. But
and just build in the other cities to develop them more. You want industry?
You want to build let's build a purpose-built commuter town outside of London.
It's Reading.
No, a purpose-built one. Reading wasn't purpose-built; it was a mistake.
But it got purpose-built when the Lizzie line shut up. But to finish my point, I think they should just have an influx of cash entirely, because they need more money to run. They need more people to be able to operate the trains more efficiently, and generally they just need to repair things more quickly.
Do you not think like these big, where there's government influence and there's a big budget and there's a big organisation, money always seems to seep through the cracks? It's sort of what you were saying about like the contracts that the TfL gives out to people. It's going to be over budget, inefficient, and poorly executed, right?
Yeah.
So to what extent can you say improving or increasing the existing budget would fix the problems?
I think with more money, more problems. No, but...
Okay, all right.
No, but I think just having more money would just be like a surplus of things they can do. They'll run more projects, they'll have more staff, more people will be available to clean the trains and make the improvements that they need to improve. And it just overall just like make the machine run a bit faster. But that being said, government things are usually quite bloated. Yeah. Government industries are quite bloated and quite slow, bureaucratic. So change doesn't come very quickly.
Yeah, it's also like if I live in Liverpool and I see, oh God, the TfL has been given a £50 million increase in funding for this year, and I'm like, I only get a bus that runs 3 times an hour.
Yeah.
It's just going to foster general resentment towards how prioritised London is. The rest of the country does resent the level of funding that we get.
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe, because I know that the last Conservative government, it was mainly through Boris, as the whole levelling up initiative. So they wanted to do a lot more investment in infrastructure, not prioritising London. So maybe that's why. But I don't know, TfL is stagnated. I think for now, it's not an immediate priority because it does what it says on the tin. All you need to do is get earplugs.
That's a good suggestion. I would recommend that. Yeah. And travel on the train a little bit earlier. Give yourself more time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't think we found any common ground. Yeah, we did. We need to buy earplugs is our common ground.
Some common ground, but more needs to be done, in my opinion.
But not more money, because more money doesn't solve problems. You know what we need? We need a Department of Government Efficiency in the UK.
We need the UK's Elon Musk.
Yeah, who is the UK's Elon Musk, would you say?
I was thinking this also. We don't have a UK Joe Rogan.
No, we've got Rory Stewart.
He's both.
Yeah.
Do you want to sign it off?
Well, I just want to figure out, who is do we have any UK really popular bit? I don't know. It's Sir Alan Sugar. Sir Alan Sugar.
He's nowhere near like the Elon Musk of the UK.
Is he not a billionaire?
I think Russell Brand.
Oh.
He's more of a billionaire than.
He's not a billionaire.
How is he not a billionaire?
Russell Brand.
No, it's not Russell Brand. Who's the Virgin Active guy? Virgin.
Oh, Richard Branson.
Richard Branson. That's. Wait, to be fair, Russell Brand could be the Joe Rogan of the UK.
He could actually.
He's done a lot of stuff about whatever it is, like enlightenment.
Sexual assault. Yeah. You know what I find crazy is like these celebrities who get accused of assault or try and get cancelled, all of a sudden they're Christian evangelicals. It's the ultimate way of deflecting it. It's like, oh, the sins of my past, and then I found Jesus and he showed me the way, and everyone's like, well, you can't. Well, I could never disagree with that. That holds up in court, right?
But I think his defence is he's done a lot of counselling over the years. So effectively, he's just got a counselling degree, and a meditation degree, and all these other things that make him a qualified person to share his opinion on the internet.
It just seems like a bit of a. I don't know. I'm not going to get done for defamation, Mr. Brown. So
it's the internet people's problem.
You know, I saw this meme today, and I'll leave you with this as a final thought. And it was like these two guys at a party, and they're like, I think they're really stoned or whatever. And the guy's like, "Hey man, are you real?" And the other guy says like, I think I am. And then like Rene Descartes just bursts into the room. He's like, that's some pretty solid evidence, actually.
And that's a good note to end on.
That was a good way to sign off. We will see you next week on Podcasts in Unlikely Places.
Yes.
Where we will be...
on the swings. In a park.
Yeah. And you know what we're going to open? Eating a pack of Quavers.
Quavers?
We're going to be eating Quavers.
All right.
So we will see you next week.